This is great. We're here.
How do we get the budget for epic boss battle music? That's fantastic.
Dude, I feel
Shout
like
out to yeah.
hope.
It's so good. Shout out to the homie Joff from Canada, my friend. You know, he did the animated intro for this. It is a beautiful thing.
That's amazing. You were talking about it. That's the first time I've seen it. We look important and awesome. That's great.
It is a great thing for sure.
Wow.
It's so good. But hi, internet, and welcome
Hey.
to the second round of Grapple Gurus. But this time, I have the WWE boys here with me because tonight we're going to be reviewing WWE's Elimination Chamber 2024 PLE. This took place Saturday, February 24, 2024 from Perth, Australia. A great thing.
What'd you say, Perth?
Perth, Australia.
We need dialect work around here. I know it's not always.
I mean, it is what it is. But I am Mikey El Jefe himself, leading the charge once again. You may have saw me last night for the TNA No Surrender review, but I have Will has tagged out for the evening and has tagged in my WWE crew. So let's get everyone's beautiful faces a little bit bigger here.
Hey, there's my face. Oh, I've seen it before. Sorry, sorry, everybody. Oh my god.
I am joined tonight by the professor himself, John, who you can find reviewing the AEW Dynamite and the WWE SmackDown with me. And then, of course, joining us tonight as well, you can also find him on the SmackDown reviews, but he is also my co-host for the Monday Night Raw review team as well. Minnie, the prodigy, who has seemed to put Senor Luchador in timeout.
Yeah, I rewatched some of the old stuff, and he's saying that he put me in the basement because I like Kenny Omega and he don't. So I had to break out the basement, hit him with the V trigger, hit him with a one winged angel, and put his ass in timeout. Like, come on.
What happened? That makes more sense. You know, we never established what you're a prodigy of, by the way. We just said that you're the prodigy.
Prodigy of a lot of things.
That's a good comeback. That's a good save. Yeah, no one's gonna know.
Participating in Magic tournaments in parking lots.
I had windows.
I just love that you're hustling Magic cards on the black market and taking people's money for it. Good for you, Minnie.
In our parking lots.
In and out parking lot too.
I mean,
so good.
There are worse
but
things.
I'm super excited. This is the second pay-per-view review. And fear not, because spoiler alert, you will see my beautiful face next Monday for AEW's Revolution.
Yeah, Mikey does everything.
We're all going to end up probably there at some point. Yeah.
We're all going to find our way here. But tonight, we are sticking to WWE. We're covering the Elimination Chamber. So really quickly, I'm going to get through housekeeping stuff, and then we will jump straight in. So you can find this review live all over the YouTubes. You can find an edited version of this next week. And you can also check out all the other stuff we got going on at the Biconics YouTube channel. You can follow us all over the social medias at BC WrestlePod. We're pretty much everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, the X, TikTok. We're pretty much everywhere. And you can click a link in the description of this video later down below, because I have yet to announce this, so we're going to use this opportunity to announce it. The Biconics are officially signed with Next Level, a up and coming social media platform where you and all your fellow wrestling community fandoms, whatever you want to call them, can find us as well as some other wrestling peeps on Next Level. So you can find that description, in our link to our page down there below. So shout out to the Next Level team for, reaching out and meeting the gentlemen behind the project. They are really cool dudes, and we have officially signed with them. So it's a lot of fun.
That's great for us. It's good to know.
We're making waves, boys. We're making waves.
We're making waves, and I appreciate the opportunity from the Next Level crew as well for having us as one of their ambassadors. So I appreciate you, and shout out to y'all's. That's a good thing happening. But then, of course, if you can't watch our beautiful faces, we have audio versions of everything now. So I have gotten it down to a science.
If you can't watch our beautiful faces or don't want to, you could listen to it. Sorry, Mikey, I'm making it worse. Go ahead.
I love it. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, if you want some extra goodies, we have a Patreon too. And also, due to signing with Next Level, we have also have a PayPal and a Cash App. So if you want to pay us and
Wow.
donate to the funds in regardless of ways, please do.
Wow. That gives you got two Owen Wilsons. Wow.
So good. And then
That's how
last
good
but
that
certainly
is.
not least, you can find some of us live and in person because the Biconics have officially have a table at the New Jersey WrestleCon on May 18th and May 19th. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I may or may not have squealed with glee in our group chat when I found out that we are on the website of this thing now, which is crazy.
I feel like that you sent us that image, and I feel like the squee was sort of implied.
People like
it
it.
was definitely a noise going through the cosmos.
It's so good. I cannot
That's
wait
wild.
for our first live appearance. We're gonna have a good time.
Wow.
So if
Another
you're
Owen Wilson.
so if you're in the New Jersey area, May 18th, May 19th, come check us out. Come say hi. We're gonna have a table. We're gonna have merch. You know, talk to us. It's gonna
Do
be a
we
good
have
time.
merch? We got to get on the merch thing. We got to figure out what we're gonna
Spoiler
make.
alert! I'm working on some designs right now. It's gonna be good.
Are we doing like eye patches and headbands, or are we doing like real stuff?
Real
Oh,
stuff.
love
we
an eye
could-
patch.
But an eye
Oh,
patch would be really killer.
That
should
would we got to.
We have to.
Biconics luchador masks.
We got to
Oh.
figure out. We got to figure out something that everyone.
Seriously.
Everybody's got a T-shirt. We got eye patches, like something different, you know.
Luchador masks.
My
Do
wife
any-
says my wife says crop tops. If we could all go rocking crop tops in New Jersey, like they do out in New Jersey.
Oh, dude,
We'll wear crop
you
tops and booty shorts. That's
Seeing
what
this,
that's our cool
seeing
deal.
this belly come out.
That's worth at least 100
Glorious.
followers, Minnie. That's,
Oh,
that's,
nah, it's gonna be more than that. We're about to make a Biconics OnlyFans on this motherfucker.
And
you
on
too,
that-
jump
yeah.
Minnie in a crop top here on Patreon.
Oh my goodness, it is already off the rails, but I
Why is
love it
Lucha don't
so
in the
much.
basement? Minnie's got the crop top going. Better go. Let's see. I'm gonna get us demonetized. We're
Yeah,
live.
we check us out, guys. We're great.
Yeah. So with the housekeeping out the way, let's get into why we're all really here tonight. We are
Look at the-
here.
Look at the production value. Look at that.
I would
Wow.
like to thank Google Slides for allowing me to put this together.
For those of you watching on YouTube and elsewhere, we're not used to the production value, as you can tell. We're brand new at looking at how beautiful this is.
It is a
Whoa,
beautiful
This is cool.
thing.
We actually professional.
We are fashionable. It is actually really, really good.
We are
Right.
farmers. Bump it a bump 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 bump.
Minnie, you
But
can't
we
just
are-
shamelessly plug people. We're awesome now. People gotta
Oh
pay
yeah,
great
I
for
forgot
that.
about that.
This is
Yeah.
great.
Hey guys, sponsor us.
Now sponsored by Allstate. But we are here to review WWE's Elimination Chamber PLE all the way from Perth, Australia. And funny enough, we actually had a pre-show match, which was kind of crazy because we brought that back.
Mhm.
Oh,
let's
I
just-
forgot about that.
Let's just rip the band-aid off and get into our review. So the pre-show match was for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. You have Asuka and Kairi Sane of the Kabuki Warriors defending their titles against Candice LeRae and Australia's own Indy Hartwell.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, yeah, I was just like, we knew what this was. We knew Indy wasn't going and Candice weren't going to win.
Right.
But obviously, Indy got a big pop from the home crowd.
Right. I think that so this match kind of set the tone, basically the Aussie Homer tone for the rest of the night, right? Every time an Aussie showed up on screen, all hell broke loose. Which, rightfully so, you're in Perth. But I think there was so much energy here. These four fed on it beautifully. I think the crowd was just happy to get things started, and they were just fired up. Like the crowd, I don't want to say they were irrationally exuberant, but it was sort of like, hey, calm. There was a little bit of me that was like, hey, we're just getting started, folks. You got 6 hours. But they were having so much fun. It was a great match. There was a little bit of nerves I felt here and there, but nothing that was jarring or misplaced, because obviously you have this 50,000 person crowd and it's a huge Australian event. I loved Indy getting a few moments in there. There were some cool bits in there for sure. But the Kabuki Warriors, Black Lotus Triad, you kind of knew they weren't going to lose it here. They're hanging on to those titles for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, so the funny thing is that as soon as we found out months ago that this pay-per-view was going to take place in Australia, I'm like looking at the roster. I'm like, okay, Indy, maybe Bronson's going to be there. Mommy definitely for sure. Because
Sure.
I mean,
And
So-
Bronson was supposed to be right, but then the
So
wife,
yeah,
go
he had
ahead.
his kid.
Yeah,
Bronson had his kid.
yeah, that's
So he's
great.
now Big Bronson Papa.
Big Papa Bronson, yeah.
Big Papa oh no.
Oh my gosh.
So congratulations to those guys having your kid. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
And then
yeah.
the crazy thing is Fightful also reports later that originally, before Seth got injured too, Bronson was supposed to fight Seth for the title at Elimination Chamber as well.
What?
That's crazy.
Oh, I don't want to waste time on woulda, coulda, shoulda, but that would have been incredible to watch.
That would have been dope.
Damn.
Oh,
Okay. Cool.
Absolutely. But of course, we all knew what this was.
Yeah, this was a great match. I thought it's fun to watch all four of them. You know, I kind of like, and I agree with some other folks that were talking about this, to see the women's tag belts defended, and maybe now this will happen regularly, and we get to showcase women's tag team wrestling, which has kind of been at the bottom of the hierarchy that in WWE land, at least on SmackDown, which we've been watching painstakingly for a while. Yeah, I think it sets a good precedent. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that it was it was clean. Like there was no interference, this or that, or there's no ambiguity there. It's like this was a solid, straight up match, and it kicked off everything. I thought it was fun.
I like the idea, you know, as much as I didn't like the fact that Katana Chance and Kid Carter lost the belts, because I love those girls.
Sure.
I think putting them on the Kabuki Warriors, or you know, whatever the hell WWE is calling them, is actually a way for them to start pushing the importance of the women's tag belts.
Absolutely.
Because they're putting them on two high level performers that can win women's championships and be top of the card, main eventing PLEs.
Oh, and they're ridiculous professional and so good and so safe. And there was some, I can't think, I should have taken better notes. Again, this happens to me every time. I don't take notes on the women's matches because they're usually so good that I'm caught up in the thing. There was a great sequence in the middle where it was just sort of 1, 2, 1, 2 flying. And I went back and I had watched it and I was like, are they hurt? Are they? No, those are all clean. Oh my gosh. So they all worked really, really well together.
They've been, I realize like those two have been, Kairi Sane and Asuka have been wrestling for, between the two of them, like 30 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like their careers are long as hell. So they know what they're doing. And I'm going to be honest, as much as Japanese strong style looks like it's brutal as hell, also very safe.
It's safe because it's compacted, but it still hurts.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not going to doubt that one bit. So I like the idea of them pushing those two, and I'm hoping we're going to see more of the women's tag titles start to be taken more seriously as a belt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Overall. And I think it's really cool that it's getting on PLEs now. They're starting slow with it. They're putting on the kickoff, and they're slowly starting to revamp these belts.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this too much, but I don't know how I feel about matches on the kickoff and the kickoff in general. I had a hard time watching the kickoff. I jumped to the end and then realized, I missed a match and had to jump.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I forgot this was even a match because I didn't stay. I wasn't up at 3 a.m. watching this live. I watched it.
How dare you? You are not a real one. You are a fraud.
None of us West Coasters were watching that at like 2 a.m. No, shout out to JVL and Jesse and Luis, who all actually woke up and watched this thing starting at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Luis and his son sitting on the couch watching that at 5 a.m. Good job, Luis. That's fantastic.
I'm also coming off just being sick too, so I was like, I'm gonna watch this when I get up. So I skipped the entire pre-show, and I forgot this was even on the pre-show until Mikey brought it up later, and I was like, "Fuck, it's already like I'm already all right." this was a match, I guess, that happened that I just didn't watch. But I'm still over here trying to hype up the fact that the women's title, the tag team titles, were on a PLE to begin with.
Well, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I think the important thing is that as the match went on, the Kabuki Warriors were never in jeopardy of losing their titles, and
No.
they didn't need to be, because that wasn't the point of this match. And the point was to get Indy out there in front of the Australian crowd to drum up, like hyping them up, getting ready for the main card of the pay-per-view itself. And you know what? I was really happy to see that Australia was supporting Indy, and they gave her the ovation after the match was over. I appreciate that Candice LeRae was the one to take the pin and not Indy, which was really, really nice. I thought this was a fun match. Shout out to Indy. We want more things from her. Me and many are big supporters of Indy. We want to see more of her, especially because she killed it at Stand and Deliver last year in that women's championship ladder match. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was a great match. So now we get, the intro and everything. And then we jump into the main card, which kicks off with the women's Elimination Chamber. The winner of this match will go on to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship. So we had Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Naomi, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Tiffany Stratton. We're going to get into it because this is going to be the first match that we're going to have a variety of opinions.
Yeah. So are we going to talk about each entrance and person, or are we going to talk about the whole block at once? How do you want to do that?
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of go bit by bit. We're going to talk about any sequences that we saw in between these, and then kind of go for the whole shebang of everything, because this was a lot.
So
we start off with Naomi and Becky Lynch in the ring.
I heard this is the only conflicting opinion. Well, I had a few conflicting opinions. I don't want to say it like that. I thought they were a little in their head starting this, in my opinion. I thought they were kind of slow to start. A few other folks were saying, like, look how snappy they've started. Look how great they've started. And I was like, it took them about 3 or 4 minutes to really get in the match. That's just my opinion. It wasn't like it was unsafe or disjointed or anything like that, but it was a little like, okay, are we doing this? Are we not doing this? They took their time pacing this out and sizing themselves up, which was not bad necessarily. I just felt the energy was really down for their whole first, I don't know, they had about 5-6 minutes or so on the top of this. And not to go too far into our next topic, I'm sure we're all going to talk about, but the moment Tiffany Stratton hit is when I feel like this started. All of a sudden the crowd went crazy and there was just such a different energy and pace that happened. That I felt was the beginning. I think nothing against Naomi and Becky. I just felt it was a little too measured for me, especially coming off that tag match, which was just energy. But I don't know. I could kind of go either way, but it just felt like a stagnant start to me.
So I will say one of the things that I laughed out loud in this entrance is when Becky and Naomi go outside of the ring to the cage, and Becky tries to throw Naomi into the cage, and Naomi climbs up, and then we get the inventive like booty jiggle, and then using the thick thighs save lies, bashing Becky's head into the chain.
Sure, yeah.
It was a dumb looking. Absolutely. Did I get a cackle out of it? Absolutely.
Oh, there was some good. If nothing else, we'll talk about this for the rest of the night. There was this laughter theme. Like there were some jokes they played. They're actually really good. But yeah, you're not wrong.
It was a lot of fun. And then, of course, after she was done bashing Becky's face in with her legs, then Becky ends up on the floor, and then Naomi just drops into a split from there, just like bam.
Yeah.
I thought it was entertaining.
It's entertaining. I'm not taking anything away from it. I just felt like it was a little too measured for me. And I'm not taking anything.
I agree.
It was just sort of like where we go. And it wasn't until the next entrance and then Liv Morgan after that, where it was like, all right, we're in Elimination Chamber. Let's go.
All right. Minnie, any additional thoughts about our initial two starting out of Naomi and Becky?
I'm going to preface this by saying that there was no bad matches on this card. Nothing was bad.
Oh no.
But I felt like those two in particular, it was too sloppy of a start.
No, I mean I kind of agree with you because
I've seen what they do separately.
Sure.
Yep.
I like watching, especially when Naomi went to TNA and was doing stuff over there. I know what they can do, and I was expecting like them to start just strong. And it
Sure.
was slow, and it looked a little sloppy. Looks like a couple miscues. It just looked slow until Tiffany Stratton came in, and I've been I've been for a while on Tiffany Stratton hype since she got moved up to the main roster.
Oh yeah.
So she killed it, and the crowd fucking loved her.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just get into it. So the timer reaches 0. The pod decides to randomly choose the next opponent. And entering at number 3 is Tiffany Stratton. And Lord have mercy, this Australia crowd was so behind her. It was nuts to watch.
Yeah, I had a split second where I was like, wait, is she Australian? Like, I cooked my brain for a second how excited. I was like, no, she's not. What are they? Oh, they're just happy she's there. She hit some beautiful stuff.
She was
here.
the star of this match for me. Like, this was nuts.
Yeah, that was wild. That beautiful moonsault. There was I have some other notes in here. Ooh, there was a sunset flip in there that looked rough, but it happened anyway. He's like, ooh, that looked like it hurt. I think Naomi took a really hard fall on that one. She was on point. Like all her spots right in there were just, but safe though. And not out of control, like going.
I was so concerned because I'm looking at like who was in this match,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, Tiffany's taking the first fall. Like, who else is going to be pinned before her? And she wasn't. And I was super surprised and super happy about that. Like, because I was look, who's in this chamber match. There's like, who is going to get pinned first in this match? And it's like, I'd look at everybody and like Tiffany looks like she's going to be the one that's going to get pinned first.
Sure.
And she wasn't.
And usually in WWE lands, you could kind of see that coming, which again, and this is sort of a theme for the rest of the night too. And I've heard other folks talk about this, and all of our predictions were 95% correct, by the way. We knew kind of exactly how this was going to go, but it wasn't ruined. There's kind of a fine line you have to walk where I know exactly what every result is going to be, but I'm still interested. Oh, and you kept me interested. I don't hate you. But yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Again, the crowd was behind Tiffany. Tiffany did some really, really fun stuff.
Yeah.
She tries to go for the prettiest moonsault, but Naomi kind of interrupts it with a split leg moonsault, which was gorgeous to watch too.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's down on the floor, and then the pod releases number 4, Liv Morgan, into the mix. And then this is where things went bananas.
I love it.
I want to say right before Liv Morgan came in, there was that weird cartwheely thing that they did, or was that later on? Am I wrong in the timeline? Naomi,
I think that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Naomi grabbed Tiffany, and Tiffany did the cart, and they did this dueling cartwheel thing right somewhere in there, and I was like, "What is this?"
They did it a little bit before Liv came out because then Tiffany tries to go for the prettiest moonsault, which then gets interrupted and whatnot.
I'm gonna pull it up so I'm not too lost. Keep going.
The pod opens. Liv Morgan just jumps out like a rocket and starts hitting elbows to people in the corners, and then she hit a middle rope code breaker on Becky to try to get a 2 count. Naomi and Tiffany kind of start fighting out of the ring, where Naomi sends Tiffany into the cage. There's just like Bexploders. There's just a lot that goes on, but the important thing is that Naomi, gets on top of the pod and does like this blockbuster onto Liv Morgan from the top of it. It's just like jumps down.
Michael Cole said it was a sunset flip. I'm like, that's a blockbuster.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, Michael Cole, listen, I know you've been in the game for a very long time, but I was like, hold up, pause. That's not the correct move, but that's.
Maybe it was supposed to be a sunset flip, but they couldn't pull it off, so they just went with the blockbuster.
That's why I was confused by my notes. I wrote down what Michael Cole said. That's why I'm like, wait, where are we? What? That didn't happen there. I apologize. Yeah.
It's really crazy. But then as soon as, Naomi recovers from that blockbuster, Tiffany comes in and rolls up Naomi, and Naomi is the first eliminated from the chamber match. And we still have 2 women left in the pods.
Yeah,
It was a high risk move. It looked great, and I wrote in my notes like it looks like Naomi kind of hit hard, super hard on there, but still a cool moment. And this was kind of another theme, not to call out other themes. Every time someone did something beautiful and amazing, they were the next one to get eliminated, like almost immediately. And I was like, oh, and I think I wrote that in my notes coming up, where it was just like, oh, you did something awesome. Wait, are you next? Yes, you are. That's too bad.
That's been a theme for a lot of chambers, though.
Really? Damn.
They get like, here's your big spot for TV. Now get the hell out of here.
It's over. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. And then Raquel comes in and just starts mauling people.
Yeah, so she enters in at number 5, and then she just starts laying everybody out.
Woof.
She has one of my favorite bits in this whole match when she has Becky and she keeps running and smacking her against the cage and just throws her over her head back into the ring from the outside.
Ugh.
I was like, please. I was watching it. I'm like, please throw her over the ropes. She did it. I was like, yes. Keep in mind, and she had, I don't even remember what it was called. She had a big flare up. She has a condition. It was a huge flare up during, like, right when she got to Australia.
Really?
She still wrestled with it. Yeah. She was like, oh, I gotta look it up.
And then right after Raquel does that to Becky, she grabs Tiffany, goes for something, misses. It might have been going for some kind of Hurricane Rana thing. Raquel just readjusts and just starts slamming her into the as well. Like, what is happening?
Raquel is our powerhouse of this. And of course, which, I found out later to what Minnie was saying, because when Raquel entered, I was like, she's not wearing any makeup. Like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
She has
cool.
MCAS.
Oh, okay.
Mast cell activation syndrome.
Yeah,
and she had a huge flare up like in Perth. And
what is
that?
What is that?
MCS is a condition in which the patient experiences repeated episodes of the symptoms of anaphylaxis, allergic symptoms such as hives, swelling, low blood pressure, difficulty breathing, and severe diarrhea.
Wow, poor thing.
Yeah.
And it seems that Raquel has been dealing with this for actually quite some time.
No way. Wow.
Right. And she had I remember reading somewhere she had a huge flare up during the while she was in Perth. And she's just like, I'm still doing it.
Multiple chemicals. No way. Yeah, I guess. Oh, geez.
Which explains the no makeup. And then her face was kind of pinky when she walked out, too. So I was like, ouch.
Exposures to chemicals, electromagnetic forces, and environmental triggers. Oh, what a pro. God damn it. That would suck. Good for her.
Shout out to Raquel. She really is the trooper. And you know what? She could have fooled me because she laid everybody out until we get the final entrant into this match. Bianca Belair pops out the pod, and Bianca reminds us why she's the EST at WWE, because she goes for everybody and she don't care.
Drops that huge I just forgot the name of things. Huge suplex on Becky. There was something else she did right in the crux of that. It was she came out flying. So I was very impressed. And then she always gets her hair pulled.
Well, when her hair is like 19 feet long, it's going to get pulled.
Yeah, but how do you not lose? I don't know. She sells it like it hurts a little, but like it's in there. Like that's in there. Oof, man. That looked. I don't even have hair, and that made me go. Like that looked painful.
Yeah, Bianca has. It's been a while since she's like, when someone pulls her hair, she's like, and then hits them with the braid.
Yeah.
I was it's crazy.
They stopped doing that because it started messing people up, right? That whipping thing that she used to do.
I mean, we saw the bruise and the welt that Sasha Banks had after her match with Bianca at WrestleMania 3 years ago.
Woof. Yeah,
it was intense, but
scary looking. Yeah,
Bianca is killing it. And then this is the moment where we get the crazy swanton from Tiffany off the top of the pod onto the rest of the girls.
Man,
she's a freak. Tiffany Stratton's a monster.
She is great. I love Tiffany. I'm like it. And I love that before she does the swanton, she gets the whole crowd to go, it's Tiffy time. Yeah. Hits the swanton. Everybody goes down. Tiffany gets in the ring with Liv for the prettiest moonsong, but gets broken up instead. Liv hits a middle row downward spiral, and then Liv is the one to pin Tiffany, and the crowd was booing Liv Morgan out the building when Tiffany got eliminated.
They were mad. Yeah. I think it's great that Tiffany's over this far. I think this just gives her way more momentum. I kind of want to know where she goes next. If this is her and Liv Morgan, if this is she, now that it's obvious she's over with the fans, is she heading towards WrestleMania? Like, where do you put her in now? It's obvious that she's a star.
Well,
Now,
the inside
so hear me out.
The inside scoops are saying that potentially there are talks of Tiffany versus Bianca at WrestleMania.
Wow.
Hear me out.
Really?
Somebody was talking about another women's belt coming into the promotion, a mid-card belt, almost a women's intercontinental championship, and setting up a thing with that.
Didn't there used to be, or there never has been?
I
wouldn't be surprised.
Has been like
know.
a mid-card women's belt, but I wouldn't be against.
I'm not against that.
Having a mid-card women's belt and have that thing go like between the main roster brands. And yeah,
they should have her go down and get the NXT belt, and then have her come up and defend it on SmackDown.
Have her reclaim the NXT title that she once held during the summer. I was like, I'm going to be
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, Becky.
Don't
beat
do
her
that
for that title.
Please
Actually,
don't do that.
That title reign from Becky though was phenomenal because it gave us the Extreme Rules match at No Mercy between Becky and Tiffany, and that match was also phenomenal and also made Tiffany a star, which then also led to the amazing match of Lyra Valkyria and Becky, where Lyra took it. But check out the NXT reviews if you want to hear our history with all that. But yeah,
shameless plug.
Perth was very upset that Tiffany got out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So from here, then we kind of get into the home stretch. So Raquel gets back into the ring. She starts cleaning house a little bit. But
Raquel's dropping boots on people. Just huge leg kicks. Bang, bang.
The double power bomb that she did to Liv and Becky at the same time was beautiful.
Oh, that was so cool.
It was so beautiful. But then shortly, that was the big move for her. Because then what happens afterwards, the most devastating move in Bianca Belair's arsenal, she comes in and she barely gets Raquel up into a KOD to eliminate Raquel. So our final three ends up being Bianca, Liv, and Becky. So this is where these three women for the next couple of minutes just go at it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was great. Bianca threw some shots. Those forearms she threw at the top of that, like those were stiff. Like not dangerous, but like, ooh, that had to hurt.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the three of them working. Belair goes for that double pin at one point. I want to say, it's like, I'm gonna pin both of you. I was like, nope, that's not gonna happen.
There was like 5 or 6 double pin attempts during the women's chamber
going
match.
for it. Like, let's see what happens.
Like Naomi did a couple. I think Tiffany went for one.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of double pin attempts.
Which is just kind of fun to me. I'm not sure why. It's like, there's no way this is gonna work. I'll try it anyway.
I was hoping one of them would. That'd be hilarious.
In an elimination chamber, that'd be really funny. That'd be really funny.
So then we get into the final stretch of these. Bianca tries to go for another KOD with Liv. Liv counters it with a knee to Bianca's face, which allows a code breaker. It doesn't work for Liv because what ends up happening is that as Becky Lynch tries to eliminate Bianca, Liv gets in the middle of this, and Liv Morgan is able to eliminate Bianca Belair. So Liv not only eliminated Tiffany, she eliminated Bianca, which then proceeds to get into our final part as Liv gets back up to kind of deal with Becky. Becky comes in with a manhandle slam to pin Liv, and Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania.
It was Liv takes second again.
This was a wild 30-40 seconds leading up to this. Like I'm gonna pull it up right now so I don't miss anything. Like it's just moving so fast. Like they knew
there was the like jawbreaker spot that was really cool. Then there was the code breaker that she used, and then it was like pin 1 2 3, immediately manhandle slam, pin 1 2 3, match over.
Yeah, that jawbreaker thing looks vicious. And Bianca sold the hell out of it. Like that's good night stuff. And then just move, done over. So it's sort of like, don't blink, it's here. It's like, wait, what? So cool ending. I thought it was fun. At the time, I had a bit of a pause, like, wait a minute, what are we doing? But I will say, like, besides the beginning, that first minute, that little bit of time with Naomi and Becky, Tiffany coming in, kind of revamping the energy, there was no real lull in this one. It was still pretty go as we went. Super clean, super fun. I enjoyed it.
Okay, the match itself was phenomenal. It suffered for me personally the same fate as the men's rumble. Of the match itself was good.
You can compare it to the men's rumble,
but it was too damn predictable. We just knew Becky was going to win and nothing was going to change the minds of that. Where when we talked about the men's elimination chamber, until something happened, I thought somebody else was going to win it. The women's chamber was full of spots and was full of great matches where there was a lot more, I think, storytelling in the men's rumble than the men's chamber. They used the men's chamber to set up a lot of future stuff and a lot of storytelling with it, and they used the women's chamber to set up Becky Lynch.
Yeah, but they got Tiffany over even more though,
because Tiffany's a monster and set herself over, and the crowd really liked her. Yeah, she just had a lot of really good spots and just took the moment and went with it.
I can see that,
but that's like the match itself. With every match on this card was great. So I'm not saying this was a bad match to begin with whatsoever. It was a good match, but I'm not going to argue with that.
I wrote in my notes, they're suddenly making Liv look really strong. I think she's the next to go. Oh, there it is.
Right. She always takes second. Plus, I'm upset about that. You know, they got to stop making her take second place all the time.
I took some notes here too about Graves and Cole saying just some strange stuff. And apparently, yeah, twice Cole called for something that didn't happen yet. And then all of a sudden it happened. So Cole was on script, but he was ahead of the script, which is a shame. Yeah, but everybody went into Elimination Chamber. Everyone went into it kind of knowing what it was gonna be. It was just how we gonna get there. And at least in this one, I had a moment of like, oh, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, maybe it's this. Nope. Okay. I agree with you though. Like I can see your side of that. Yeah, sure.
I personally thought this was my match of the night. And I think because
this was your match of the night. Wow.
Well, here's the thing, because I'm a big women's wrestling fan, so there's that bias. I will admit, though, we started with Naomi and Becky, it did kind of take a little bit to get this match started. But then once we got Tiffany and Liv and everybody else, and then it was full foot on the gas pedal.
Right.
But I will say, I agree with Minnie in the sense that I think match-wise, this is my favorite thing. But outside of Becky winning, we really don't have any other inclination of if there's any WrestleMania plans for the other 5 women in this match. Whereas what we'll talk about in the men's match, we literally got 3 potential WrestleMania matches out of that chamber, which was really weird that we didn't do anything with the women. But you know, we have like almost 7 to 8 weeks now at this point.
I don't hate that though, and I don't want to wax poetic on this too much, but I think the men, we know exactly where they're going. The women, we kind of get to find out where they're going to go. It's just not set in stone, in my opinion, exactly what we could pull. You do have a few options. Storytelling wise, it doesn't bother me too much. My problem, now that I've said that, my caveat to that is they don't book the women well. So they're also open to getting totally screwed out of plot lines they should have, since this isn't as strong in other ways. So yeah.
But overall, all 6 women did a great job. Tiffany came out looking the biggest star of this whole entire thing.
Oh yeah.
And she has had such a big momentum since coming onto SmackDown, which was great. I loved it. So after this match, we get into our first championship match of the evening, where we had a match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match, the New Catch Republic, which is this new name that we are giving the team of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, taking on the champions of the Judgment Day, being represented by Finn Balor and Damian Priest in this match, with Dominic Mysterio as the valet for Judgment Day. I'm gonna put this out there, and so then we can talk about the match. This was the match that I almost was going back and forth between this and the Women's Chamber as my match of the night, because this match also ruled for me. I love tag team wrestling.
This was a blast.
Fantastic. This was fun.
This was my match of the night because I had so much fun watching this. So much fun watching this.
Good. Oh my god! I learned how athletic Tyler Bates was.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't really watch it. Like, he wasn't super. I think he was hurt, or there was something going on during like Stand and Deliver. So I don't think he wrestled during Stand and Deliver.
He did, but he wasn't in the ring because he teamed up with Chase U when they went up against Joe Gacy and the
Schism. That's right. So he didn't do a lot.
He wasn't in the ring that much though, because it was mostly because that whole storyline, if we remember, we didn't know Duke Hudson was going to turn on Chase U.
Right. There's the whole schism. Yeah. So I didn't really see him too much. And then like he wasn't when I watched Gold Rush or when I watched I think Great American Bash is the other one that I watched. He didn't really do a whole lot. So it was like this is like my first time really seeing him wrestle.
Yeah. So good. So much fun in here.
Oh dude, he's insane.
The stuff that he's
definitely the best big boy in all of wrestling.
Oh yeah. And that airplane spin was just,
oh my god, I got a headache watching that.
How are you not just? I was laughing so hard that whole time, and you can see it on his face too. Like, this is gonna hurt, but everybody loves it. Yeah. Perth crushed Dom. Perth just destroyed Dom, and it was so amazing.
I saw a video of somebody posting. It was like hey, Dave Meltzer and whoever else. They say they pipe in the noise for Dom, and it was a video of the dude at the Perth thing recording like Dom trying to talk, and you still couldn't hear him. And it was live.
So good. So I don't know if you heard about this. What was the black? There was a blackout.
Okay, so I got the tea on this.
They were flipping Dom off.
Okay. Dom gets tossed and the whole thing goes black.
Because the whole entire front row was flipping Dom off. They like stuck the bird up. The whole front row stuck the bird up to Dom. And that's why it was blacked out for a couple of seconds.
Man, I missed it.
Yeah, they flipped Dom. I don't remember what. I think there was also a if you heard it, there was a Dom is a wanker chant.
Yep, I have Dom as a wanker right here. Yep,
that was awesome.
Wanker.
Dom was getting absolutely wrecked this whole time, and you know what? It's because of the mullet.
But mullets are a thing now. Mullets are cool.
Mullet is the evil superpower.
Mullets are everywhere. They're at the gym. When I go to the gym, my students have them. Mullets are the thing.
Dom was fun for the crowd to be booing him, but okay, so like at the very beginning of this match, right? I don't even know what you call it, but Pete Dunne is standing in the middle of the ring, and Tyler Bate does like a fake out head scissors where he literally uses his feet to propel himself to do a flip onto.
It's just he just stands there with his shoulders and does that little boom, and it tosses him up, and I
was like, what is this? I was like, oh my gosh, this is really great. And it was at that moment I knew this match is going to be great.
Oh, so good. I love the double psych out punch that they both had.
Yeah, it's like, hold up.
They both look, went, oh, check this out. Boom. It was like, oh, it was so funny. What is happening? Oh, it was a blast. It was so much fun. And again, I knew the result, but I was okay with this. I want to see more from them. And what makes me sad is that they're so different. And WWE is so cliche with how they run these archetypes sometimes. Eventually they're going to turn on each other. And it makes me really sad because I don't want them to, because I kind of like them like this. I want to see them go against Pretty Deadly. I want to see them go against, I just want them to run clean house over all the tag teams because they're over and they're fantastic.
This was a phenomenal match. And I also have to give credit to Priest and for Balor too, because like these two, I think this is my favorite championship tag team match of theirs since they've gotten the titles.
Oh yeah, they've had some good matches.
They had some good matches.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping to see is that because of how much I've enjoyed Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate as a tag team, I really hope that WWE decides to keep them and have them continue to team together, because the men's tag team division just on main roster in general could definitely use these two as a contender for the tag team because they've done so well in their short time together. And I kind of want to see them down the line hold the tag team championships at some point.
I want to see them against the Viking Raiders and just
Yes.
massive, ridiculous. What is going on? You know what I mean? Just throw the wild stuff at them.
Wow,
And what's
that'd be
great is
incredible.
it's only what 5-6 weeks old, right?
Yeah.
This is
tag team
new.
hasn't
Like,
been
this is
around
really
for
cool.
a while. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I want them to continue to team.
Now, I'm really hoping that Finn legitimately didn't hurt his thumb, or he's just
Let's
really
talk
selling.
about that.
He's
because I was
really
like,
selling
oh my gosh.
Pete Dunne, just ripping his hand apart.
Well, I don't know when it looked like it happened on that coup de grace right at the end, where he goes and it looks like he's catching himself and he's a bit far forward, and you can kind of see his hand slip. That's what my take. Well, I don't know if it's been reported or whatever else. I try not to. I sometimes the reports drive me nuts, so I don't read them. But Mikey, if you know the tea on that, I'd love to hear it. It looked like it hurt a lot, and it looked like he was trying to pull it to get it back in. But he, like you
Ow.
said, he's also kind of showing the camera, "Oh, look at me, I'm hurt." I don't know. I didn't check Finn's Instagram. I should have. He tends to post all his bumps and bruises on there.
I mean, that's very fair. This was a phenomenal tag team match. And like I said, I hope that New Catch Republic sticks around as a tag team and we continue to see them do great things. Alrighty. So let's talk about everybody's favorite thing, the Grayson Waller effect.
Man, I like Grayson Waller. I hate these talk show things. Ugh.
This one wasn't bad though. I didn't know Grayson Waller was a history teacher before this.
I did not know that either. When they said, I was like, really? Go figure.
Makes
Dude.
sense to me.
I mean, history teachers are normally the attractive ones, so that makes sense because when you look at Grayson Waller, look at his app, man.
I mean, that's very, very fair. Of course, Australia is cheering for Grayson. And honestly, we knew what this was going to be.
Oh, so sorry. Jumping back to Finn Balor. Finn Balor, I typed this with one thumb. So he's got one thumb going for him right now. Oh, buddy. Yeah, he messed up his thumb. It's not saying too much here, but he's hurt. Anyway, carry on. Grayson Waller effect. Yeah.
So, Austin Theory introduces Grayson Waller. He comes out, and the crowd is behind him because we're in Australia. And then he introduces Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes to come on out. To be completely honest, these are the spark notes of this because I don't want to spend too much time on this. We get from Seth that he is medically cleared now, so that was a fast recovery time.
Yeah.
I want to know what stem cells he injected into his body.
He did that.
Whatever Rey Mysterio, whatever fountain of youth they found for Rey Mysterio.
He did that
and
German
Danielson
spinning.
and Saraya. And
If you go to
everyone else.
Germany, they'll take a pint of your blood, they'll spin it in a subterfuge and put it back into you for extra antibodies. I'm not saying he did that. I'm just saying I know that, and now you do. Anyway, carry on.
So that was the thing from Seth. And the only important bit is like, we're teasing that maybe Cody's going to fight The Rock at some point between now and WrestleMania. We're still seeing if we're going to get this tag team match with Seth and Cody versus Roman and Rock night one. And then, the Austin Theory does some Rock impressions, and then Grayson Waller just watched his friend get a beat down from Cody and Seth afterwards.
Just stands there, doesn't do.
Well, he ripped the mic out of his hand, and he's in Australia. Why does he want to I'm in my hometown. I don't want to look like a bad guy. 2, you also ripped the mic out of his hand. And 3, Grayson Waller dropped the best line saying that because of the American education system, this man has not been able to finish a story.
Also, at the very, very end, when all hell's breaking loose, Grayson Waller picks up the plant to try and use it to defend himself and pulls the plant out of the pot.
That plant just
doesn't know what to
crumbled on
do.
itself.
Like, oh, that's amazing. Oh, that was really funny. I don't know. I hate these talk show things. There's some funny bits and good lines that come out of them. Grayson Waller's okay at it. I just hate them. The crowd loved Grayson Waller, obviously, but
I think this was just used to get Grayson Waller, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins all on the card.
Yeah, which is fine, I guess. This was my go make food break. So,
I like this.
But yeah.
I like how these guys turned from enemies to like the best bromance in WWE right now between Cody Rhodes and Seth
yeah,
Rollins.
it's kind of cute.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
I'll be your shield.
Oh my god. Somebody put it on a t-shirt now.
All the
And I
shield,
wouldn't be surprised if they did.
all the original behind the scenes Shield stuff is making the Instagram now, by the way, with John Moxley, Seth Rollins, and Roman all doing voiceovers and other stuff. Like seeing them, what was that? Gosh, 12 years ago or more, a long time ago. Like, it's really funny.
It's like expose them. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So this was the pee break. This was the go make food option. This was let me go check my phone real quick. And then we got back into the action because then we got probably the longest match of the evening, the men's elimination chamber. Holy crap, did this match go on for quite some
For a
time.
long time, very long time.
But the men's elimination chamber, the winner of this chamber will go on to face Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Before I list off the names, one of these things is not like the other because one of these people is from Raw and everybody else is from SmackDown. So I already knew who was really going to win this, but we had LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul in this match. I will be honest, and this is no strike against the women. The women's match was a lot of fun, but these are, if I had to pick like your current stars, the big names, the big powerhouses of the men's division right now, outside of Bronson Reed, who I thought would have killed in this match.
Oh, absolutely.
I honestly think these were the correct 6 men to put in this match, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe Sami Zayn, but that's because I'm biased.
Sammy would have been fun to watch here, yeah.
Okay, so the entrances to these were like hilarious when everybody was coming out. Those were funny. I'm not sure if there was Randy getting on top of Bobby Lashley's cage. Well, Kevin Owens comes out, kind of does the thing, gets in the thing. Bobby Lashley comes out and is like staring down Kevin Owens, and he's doing like the put the dukes up thing. And then Bobby throws his jacket at the cage, and Kevin Owens acts like he's all hurt. And then there's
Kevin Owens was a menace this match.
He's always a menace.
Monster. Yeah.
Then Logan Paul comes out, and Kevin is trying to break the cell with his head. Randy comes out, does his thing on top of Bobby Lashley's cage, and this is where it got really funny because when LA Knight comes out, he does the same thing, and Randy is poking
his foot,
poking his foot through the cage, and Randy's just having the time of his life.
I picked Randy, and there was a moment where I thought, oh, it's gonna be Randy. It's gonna be Randy, and then it was Drew. Sorry, not to jump to the end, but
I legitimately thought for a while that LA Knight was gonna win it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, like I know my prediction might have been different, but like after I was watching the match, I'm like, I think the way LA Knight's like I think LA Knight's gonna take this. Then what happened.
Yeah, we'll talk about Mikey. How do you want to break this down?
Similar to the women's match,
right.
We'll talk about it. But before we do, I have to shout out, because we got backstage, videos of everyone arriving to the arena earlier in the day. Kevin Owens is MVP because I'm like, where'd you get a whole koala, sir? Like, where did you? He was walking in with a whole koala. I was like, how'd you get a koala? Like, what happened? Like, where did we go?
He found the one nice koala, apparently, because apparently koalas are mean.
They're mean, man. No, they really are. They might be sleeping and eating eucalyptus leaves and everything. But those little buggers are vicious.
Yeah,
but
they're nasty buggers.
This one was cute though, because it was like snuggling up on Kevin Owens. I was like, the juxtaposition of how Kevin Owens looks like with all these tattoos and big facial hair, beard, and this tiny little koala just cuddling up to Kevin Owens. I was like, put that on a t-shirt right now.
That's fantastic. That was for the American fans, just to prove that he was in Australia. Everyone in Australia is like, great, a koala. Can we move on?
So good. It's so crazy. So everyone makes their entrances in here. Also, shout out to Logan Paul because apparently he got bored, so he had a whole expo marker and drew on the cage, which was also.
And he did it.
He wrote it backwards.
He drew it backwards for the camera.
Kevin's.
That's talent right there. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah. And it's kind of ridiculous.
So good. But everyone's in the pods. LA Knight and Drew McIntyre start out this thing. Drew McIntyre was out here to collect some names and collect a check and destroy everyone and anything in this path.
Mm-hmm.
So Drew and LA Knight start out for this whole entire thing. And
they work great together.
yeah,
I like watching the two of them go heads up. I think it'll probably be a long time before we see the two of them together again, but they worked great, in my opinion. I wrote down LA Knight has some huge hops to get over that rope and hit McIntyre from the outside. Just jumped up, went up and got it. They're great. I thought they sold well. I think they started with a bit of a better energy than the women did. But this, what in difference to me, I'm saying this now, and we'll talk about this as we go. There was kind of a big dip in energy about halfway through this for some reason. Whereas the women, I felt once they got momentum, they went go, 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 go. This one, there was a good, like, I don't know, few minutes, which is probably why it was so long. There was a few minutes in the middle where it was sort of like, okay, let's just get lumbering on to the next thing. It was like, you're losing me. Keep going. But LA Knight, Drew McIntyre at the top. Great.
Oh, yeah,
fantastic. And then the chamber decided that we didn't have enough chaos already, because then who comes in at number 3? The pod opens and in comes Kevin Owens. And from the get-go, Kevin Owens is like, we're going to fight everybody and anybody. And just immediately starts throwing haymakers all over the place.
Choke slams LA Knight for the kid that he met at the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, I was going to mention. Yeah,
great.
Adorable. And then Corey Graves like, he doesn't normally do choke slams, but he met a kid, so we decided to. I was like, oh, all right, great. Thanks for letting me know.
Look at KO being a good person.
Hey,
I'll choke slam for you, kid.
I want to hang out with Kevin Owens. Like, I think he'd be fun to hang out with. It is great.
I don't know if I should be scared or if I want to hang out with him. I don't know. Like, I feel like he might stunner me.
Low-key, I would kind of be okay with getting stunned by KO.
Apparently, stunners don't hurt so much. It just depends on who's throwing it.
That is very
fair. It also
fair.
depends on how you take your back bump.
Again, there's that, right? Super fun. Kevin Owens was a joy to watch, but I wasn't waiting for Kevin Owens. I was waiting for Logan Paul to get destroyed, but we'd have to wait.
Well, we got to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Prior to number 4 coming in, I love that LA Knight and KO, they tried to do a double suplex on McIntyre, who then just high cross bodies both of them to the mat.
Man,
which was so really good.
That's such a
and
big
then
man.
The chamber pod opens up, and coming in at number 4 is the almighty Bobby Lashley. Bobbles comes in, man, and then Bobby Lashley, I love you, man. I was like, I wish we're doing more with you, because this was fantastic.
I wish we were.
I want to put it out before that LA Knight was smacking Drew McIntyre's face against Kevin Owens's pod, and Owens's forearm in the pod.
And then they were punching.
Yeah.
I was like, this is such a memeable.
And then, like, he was throwing him against the pods, and you hear the Aussie crowd going, one more time. He's like, one more? Okay. And threw him against the pod again.
We've talked about this on the SmackDown reviews and sort of with the suit profits and where are we going with Bobby Lashley and what's happening. I know Bobby was injured. There was sort of a year there where it was sort of, what are we doing with Bobby? And Bobby's even talked about it. Am I on my way back? Where are we going? He's kind of in mid-card purgatory right now.
Well, he's in that feud with Karrion Kross and what is it, the New Testament?
Yeah, this sort of, and which hurt. He got his elbow rocked on SmackDown, which led to this, which led to the elbow injury. So yeah, I agree with you, Mikey. I said all that to agree with you, Mikey. My heart goes out to Bobby Lashley because I'm like, we need more of you. What are we doing? Dude's fantastic in the ring. Still does this great stuff. And as the night went on, was throwing people through the pods. Was just destroying people. Oh, so much fun to watch him.
Yeah, the suplex and the spine buster from Bobby was great. Everybody keeps fighting, and then he hears voices in his head occasionally, because number 5, we have Mr. Randall Keith Orton. Randy Orton comes out and then just decides to lay waste to everyone.
I want to put it out there that Bobby Lashley's 47 years old.
No, he's not.
He's 47 years old. He looks like he's 27 years old. That man is a freak of nature, and I want what he's drinking.
Bobby Lashley's 47.
Keep in mind, he won a chamber match with WWE CW.
What?
Let that sit in.
Bobby's been doing this for a long time.
I didn't. Okay, that's gonna take me a minute. Keep talking.
Yeah. That's insane. But
Logan Paul looks 50.
talking about
Logan
Randall
Paul-
Keith Orton,
Bobby Lashley. Sorry. Anyway,
Randy is either he really hurt himself or that dude was doing a clinic.
that's
on
what I was gonna
selling.
ask. I was terrified for Randy, because he sold the hell out of that, and I'm still not sure if it was a work or not. The internet's kind of torn.
I think it was because one, the ref wasn't nearly with him as much as he should if he really hurt himself. And there was no X sign brought up. I think I saw him do the hand grip a couple times. I think he was just selling the fuck out of his back.
Man, if that's true, then and to invoke Simon Miller, dude needs to go straight to Hollywood, because I was all in on, oh my God, he's hurt. He sold it every time he took a step. He sold it every time he took a breath. He never let that go. There were moments where I thought, oh, he's fine. Oh, he's feeling it. And then he brought it right back. Like, oh, wow, that was a really good sell job.
Randy is just so great. Again, I'm happy that he's back from injury. We'd love to see it.
Yeah.
But then, probably one of my favorite moments, the chamber opens up. Logan Paul comes out. Kevin Owens is like, nah, I've been waiting for you. And then literally Logan Paul is trying to keep the door from opening. Kevin Owens gets it open, jumps inside, closes the door, and proceeds to beat the living tar out of Logan Paul inside by running Logan Paul's head up and down the chamber pod.
It's so good. It was so great. Like he was trying to close the door back, trying to shut the door.
Threw him inside. Met him inside. He couldn't open the door. I thought that was funny. He was having a hard time opening the door.
Corey Graves brings up the good old phone booth metaphor. If you ever did a boxing class or watched those old 80s boxing movies, he's fighting in a phone booth. And I was like, that's amazing. That was so.
This reminds me, the very beginning of the women's rumble, they are doing a cut. They're showing the front of the cage and the ref's closing it. And there was a ref that was struggling to lock it. And they kept the camera on him for like 3 seconds too long of him trying to lock the chamber.
Oh my gosh. But Kevin Owens beating up Logan Paul was great. So then all 6 men are in the ring. You know, we get Bobby Lashley is spearing people through pods.
Mm-hmm.
He does it twice. And then, which unfortunately, those are the 2 big spots, because then Lashley walks into a Claymore from Drew McIntyre, and Bobbles Lashley is the first to be eliminated from the Elimination Chamber.
That Claymore looked,
oh my gosh,
vicious. I'm sure Bobby was selling it too, but from that camera angle and where that was at, it's like I just saw a foot and face, like bam, like oh wow. So that looked painful, but great spot though. Great spot.
So Bobby, we love you. It's unfortunate he got eliminated first, but it is what it is.
And then the crowd chanting, "We love, thank you, Bobby!" Right? Thank you, Bobby. Like they adored him down there.
International fans love Bobby Lashley, as they should.
47. He's 47 years old.
Well, yeah.
20 years ago, he was 27.
I know, right?
Oh gosh.
I want to grow up to be Bobby Lashley when I get older.
Man,
seriously. And then once Bobby got eliminated, this is where the match itself kind of started to slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some more stuff, and LA Knight getting a big pop because he hits a BFT on Orton and on McIntyre. But then the king of pettiness shows up in the match, because who comes in? AJ Styles with the chair, beat up LA Knight, which allows Drew to pin Knight, and LA Knight is eliminated. WrestleMania match number 1 in this men's chamber was set up. AJ Styles, I love the story of this, is that AJ Styles is so petty. He flew a 30-hour flight just to come in, hit LA Knight with the chair, and then leave. I was just like, that is pettiness incarnate, and I loved it.
The chair on LA Knight. Did you see that?
That chair was broken. That chair was gnarly looking.
Broke the chair, then still hit him with a Styles Clash on the broken chair.
I don't. I like the storytelling of AJ being petty. I love the idea of him flying out there to do that. That's probably what saves it for me. I just don't like seeing LA Knight get kind of crapped on this way. I think they in the end he looked pretty strong in the beginning. He just kind of doing this makes him kind of look like a whimper to me. He just doesn't go out.
Okay. Remember, what it took to take LA Knight out of the chamber was breaking a chair on his back,
Sure.
then hitting a Styles Clash on said chair.
Yes, that's not. Yes, he looks strong. He got destroyed to do that. I don't know.
It sucked because that was like after watching what LA was doing, I was like, this dude's probably going to win this chamber. Like the AJ Styles thing was super. Like they were like really unexpected for me.
Oh, it was absolutely unexpected, but it was, and I know WWE loves doing unexpected things and things that were like, wait, what are you doing? I don't know. I did not like it. I thought it could have been better. And what are we setting up? We're setting up LA Knight for AJ Styles for WrestleMania? I don't hate that.
Possibly, or you set up what I'm also seeing is a ladder match for Logan's US title at Mania, and Logan and AJ and LA Knight being involved in that. That's another thing I was saying.
If that kind of does it, then maybe I have a better taste in my mouth for this one. I just kind of, LA Knight was wrecking house and doing so good.
Right.
All of a sudden it's over because of that. And I was like, nah, it's rough. I could have watched him and Drew McIntyre go another 30 minutes. And yet Logan Paul got in there longer. I'm like, I don't know how.
Okay, Logan Paul had about 5 moves of offense, though. He was really only there to take a bunch of bumps.
Sure.
Which I was fine with, because Logan Paul taking bumps is funny.
Yeah, I mean, he sold that stunner. Wrecked. That stunner he sold pretty well. I didn't hate that. And there was something else that happened that he looked good. I don't know. I just kind of, that was a big question mark for me. He was like, really? Like that? Because LA Knight hits it on Drew McIntyre, and then it was like, oh, this is it. And then, okay. I don't know. That could be just me. It's just me. Maybe I just wanted better. I wanted better from LA Knight.
That's a fair, thing to say. So we go on for a couple more minutes. KO tries to hit a stunner, but then it gets reversed into an RKO. And then Randy eliminates Kevin Owens as the third to be out.
With his messed up.
Yeah. And then this is where, for me personally, this match starts to get really slow.
Oh, yeah. It stalls out here for a good 10 more minutes of just what? AJ Styles attacks the refs to go after LA Knight a little bit longer. It just kind of meh for me. Do I have notes here?
You're like, not really.
No, I don't, because it's just like I wrote paint. Well, I don't want to give it away, but yeah, there's some stuff here I say all the time that here. If Randy Orton looks messed up, if it's a work, it's a good one. Yeah, so I'm still talking about that during this moment. I said the AJ Styles interference was weak. LA Knight ate that Styles clash and looked at McIntyre for the pin. Yeah, so anyway, carry on. Sorry.
So this match begins to stall out a little bit for me. But we did get one of my favorite memeable moments. We get a close-up shot of Logan Paul whipping out the brass knuckles, and he does the thing where then, Randy comes out of nowhere with an RKO to pin Logan Paul, and Logan Paul is the fourth one out. We then get into the final stretch. A drive-by RKO happens.
It hits the RKO.
So funny. I loved it so much. It was great.
Before that happens, Logan Paul eats that I don't know what that's called. Kevin Owens throws it. It's that suplex, but then into the knee drop thing.
Oh my goodness,
Logan Paul ate that. Like that was
brainbuster.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that was.
It was kind of like a brainbuster. I don't remember the.
It
was like a brainbuster variant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Logan is eliminated. Drew and Randy go back and forth for a little bit. A failed future shock, RKO getting blocked, a hanging DDT. Yeah. Randy Orton gets into that place where he begins to curl up, and he tries to stand up to hit an RKO, in which Logan Paul comes out of nowhere to hit him with the brass knuck, which allows McIntyre to pin Randy Orton. So Logan versus Randy, match number 2. Drew McIntyre is your winner of the 2024 Men's Elimination Chamber, and it will be Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 40. This was a very long match.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get a timestamp on it right now. I can't quite do it.
36 minutes.
How
and
long?
This match was 36 minutes and 56 seconds, so almost
Woof.
37 minutes.
I wish someone would just tell Logan Paul to paint those brass knuckles. They're so plastic and fake. It drives me batshit. As a theater person, as a props guy, I'm just like, come on.
Well, that's another unexpected moment for me was Logan Paul coming back in to deck Randy Orton
Yeah.
instead of just having it was a way to protect Randy so like Drew doesn't pin Randy clean, so Randy still hasn't really been pinned clean yet since his return.
Sure.
Wasn't expecting because I thought like when Randy hit that RKO when he was getting up, I was like, oh yeah, we're about to have Randy versus Seth. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna get another flying RKO out of nowhere.
That was my pick. It's Randy Orton. When we talked about this a little while ago, I was like,
Yeah,
I think it's Randy. I think that was the decision. And now that it's Drew, I think I go back to when Drew and WWE were in negotiations the first time, which I guess that was over the summer, or was that early last year? Do you guys remember when that was? And the big rumor
he was in negotiations, and then Vince came back and he stalled the negotiations.
Yes,
he didn't want to come back when Vince came back.
Yeah.
So when Vince first came back, yeah.
So I'm wondering now if maybe Elimination Chamber was on that, or maybe WrestleMania was on that, because my gut was saying it was for Randy because Randy just came back. Maybe it was in Drew's long-term plan. Then I don't know. I'm still a little bummed that Logan Paul got that far in the chamber and survived that long. That kind of irks me some, but again, he's earning it and he's got the respect of these wrestlers, and fine. I guess I have to just humble my own jealous, bald pride some a little bit because it's not up to me to be jealous of some dude half my age. Bobby Lashley's 47.
Yeah,
Man.
Bobby Lashley's 47. Randy's up there
God.
too.
Well, no, I knew Randy was up there for sure. So yeah, I thought this was fine. I enjoyed it. I had fun watching this. There was that lull of energy in the middle, but again, like the women's chamber just kind of smoked the men's one again, which is so funny to me.
I feel like if you like good spots, yeah, go watch the women's because there's a lot of good spots in that one. But I feel like the storytelling and what they were doing for the men's chamber is what makes that one better for me overall. Yeah, there was a little bit of there's a lull in both matches. One just happened to be in the middle, and the other one was at the very beginning.
Yeah, I mean the last this is 36 minutes. You said, Mikey?
Yeah, almost 37 minutes for the men.
So for me, the last 15 are. I mean, I'd have to go rewatch it, but I guess that's you could probably around the time LA Knight and AJ Styles happened, and then there's 15 more minutes for that, where it's like, okay, great. It kind of stalls out, which is unfortunate. I don't know.
But I can't even like say there was like a match of the night for me. All these matches were really good.
Oh,
like,
really?
I can't even like pick a match. Like this is match of the night. This is by far like I can't. Like all these matches were good. Like the women's match was really good, but I like the men's match too. I like the tag match. I like the fact that Nia Jax didn't hurt anybody in her match.
We will talk about that for sure.
We will talk about it.
And I think the men brought it absolutely. I thought Drew McIntyre and LA Knight were fantastic in there. Kevin Owens had a blast just rocking people. I love seeing Bobby Lashley wreck house. I know he's playing the elbow thing, so fine. I just wanted more. Maybe I'm just jealous.
Well, it's okay. So normally when we get these
big matches, I'm greedy. I wanted more.
Okay, so look at last year's men's. We had the big Johnny Gargano, Seth Rollins on the top of the chamber spots.
That's
we
true.
normally have like there wasn't like a high flyer normally in these matches. They're doing the really big flippy stuff. Like we didn't have a Ricochet in this match. We didn't have a Montez Ford in this match. We just had a bunch of big dudes doing big dude things, and Logan Paul, who I was expecting to try to do one of those big athletic spots, but got thrown through, got speared through a chamber, and got telephone boothed.
I mean that spear he took from Bobby Lashley was ridiculous.
I think Bobby like put his head against his leg, like to see if he was okay. Because like if you see him, they're like leaning
Yeah,
against
they
each
do that
other.
little cat nuzzle thing. It's like, oh, cute. Mikey, get us on track. Mikey, get us on track.
Well, we
So,
are on track. We're talking about the match.
so Drew McIntyre being your only person
answers.
representing Raw is the winner, which makes sense because you're going after the Raw men's title, which is fine. Listen, despite it like last 10-15 minutes kind of going on a downward trajectory for me of how much they dragged it out, I ultimately enjoyed this, and I will agree with Minnie. I love the women's match just because the pure athleticism and the spots that we got in there were fantastic. The storytelling was definitely better in the men's match because we set up 3 potential WrestleMania matches coming out of this. One for certain with Drew and Seth, and potentially AJ versus LA Knight, and then Randy versus Logan for the United States Championship? Question mark.
Is that what you think? Ooh.
I think it might be for the US title. Who knows at this point? Which then makes me think that the IC title is going to be in a ladder match of some sort because we got to get the title off Gunther, but we cannot have him pinned.
No, I think Gunther needs to get pinned to set because remember the IC title is normally historically was used to set up the workhorse of the company and the person they're going to be setting up next for a big push.
That's fair.
So Gunther is being set up for a big push. I think at post Mania, I think that SummerSlam or something like that. He's going to take Seth's if Seth doesn't somehow lose his belt. He's going to take a world championship and hold it for a while. Or we're setting up Gunther versus Cody later on. I don't know.
Gunther Cody would be. Didn't that just happen not too long ago? Was there Gunther Cody?
Their paths haven't crossed yet, which is
Have they
crazy.
not?
To
Oh,
They
say.
have at
crazy.
they have at Rumble. That's about it.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
all. Gunther Cody
But
would be fantastic.
That could be like if WWE actually lets Cody fucking finish, like win
let's
at Mania, we might be setting up Gunther. But like I think they're either going to set either for Jey Uso, but I think Jay and Jimmy are going to be a match. So I'm thinking like Chad Gable
Oh wow, really?
or something like that.
Sure.
I mean, look what he did his matches and what he's done with Gunther. Like he just won even on the house show circuit. He beat Gunther via DQ, but still beat him.
Yeah.
And he did beat Gunther in that one thing. They were setting him up for a while. There's people that are poised, or if you really wanted to make LA Knight even a bigger star, have LA Knight beat Gunther. But we could be getting him and AJ. I don't know, but there's people ready to take that belt that will shoot them up if they want to make that big push, which is what that belt is used historically for.
Sure.
And even back, and Triple H is the one doing all the booking and everything. And I feel like he's going to make that belt back to where it was when it comes to setting up the workhorses and the people that are going to be pushing for the big main event spots. Because he was around during that heyday when the greats were holding that belt.
Yeah. I don't know.
Stay tuned for a future podcast episode.
Sorry, we'll talk about this
predictions.
another time. Yeah, go.
Honestly, we have 7 to 8 weeks until we have about 6 to 7 weeks until WrestleMania, so we got a lot of time for this road to come into clarity. But from here, Triple H comes out, announces that there's a record breaking in that stadium. Cool, awesome, dope. We'd love to see it. Then we get into our main event.
Mommy.
We have Rhea Ripley defending her women's world championship against the challenger in this case, also from Australia. Did not know this until, going into the pay-per-view. Nia Jax. Nia comes out first, the crowd's booing her as they should. And then the stadium exploded with when Rhea Ripley came out. She's singing her theme song. I want her vest jacket because it looks so freaking cool. But we all knew where this was headed. But my goodness, to see Rhea crack a smile so much during this match, being able to wrestle in front of her family. And I come to find out later that Rhea hasn't wrestled in Australia for 7 years.
Wow.
Okay. The fact that she held it together, because there's footage post-match of her just breaking out in massive tears when all the cameras go off.
Really?
Yeah. The fact that she held it together till the cameras went off before she finally started crying. I thought it was going to happen well before that. But she's like, no, I got to keep kayfabe. kind of.
Wow.
But yeah, it was, dude. She came out to a mass. It was one of the. I think there's only been one pop bigger than that one, and that was Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico.
Oh, nothing competes with Bad Bunny.
I
like,
mean, I kind of miss Bad Bunny. I'm gonna say that. I kind of wish.
I'm hoping
Bad Bunny.
I hope they do something with it.
that whole Backlash pay-per-view in Puerto Rico is still one of my highlights of 2023.
I hope they bring Bad Bunny back sometime. First move of the night, Rhea Ripley loses her ear gauge, flies right out of her ear.
Yeah,
I was terrified again because in my head I went straight to the Royal Rumble where she pulled the nose ring. I went to that other match where something happened to her eyebrow and then she lost a gauge. So it happened again. So that was unfortunate.
okay, can we talk about the springboard Hurricane Rana Rhea Ripley pulled out?
Woof. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
She was just like, I'm balls to the wall. I'm doing everything.
Yeah. I felt Nia Jax was still a little stiff to me, but was much safer than I've seen her and heard of her being in the past. So a lot of folks have been praising how safe she is in the work that she's put in for certain things. And I definitely saw that here. Also, you got a massive audience. You don't want to be the one that hurt Rhea Ripley in Australia.
Yeah, there was one spot it looked like Rhea did get hurt. That spot where they did on the announce table.
Oh, sure.
But
that looked painful.
But at the same time, though, people I was reading like stuff on that people were like flaming Nia Jax for it. But they're like, no, that was Rhea's fault. She didn't clear the table because Rhea's the one that set it up. She just didn't clear it.
Fair. Yeah. I didn't quite catch that, but I believe you. Yeah. There was that leg submission thing at the top that Nia Jax put her in. That I don't know the names. You guys know the names. That leg bendy back thing, which just looks like
the stretch muffler. Yeah.
The stretchy thing, which is like, oh, that looks awful.
Stretch muffler. The stretch muffler.
Dude, okay. Rhea was smiling during that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to keep that. Never mind.
Demonetized. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was.
I mean, hey,
Rhea did a fantastic job. She sold everything, and this is because the fact that Dolph Ziggler, or now known as Nick Nemeth, is no longer with WWE. In my opinion, as of right now, Rhea Ripley is the best seller in WWE.
Sure, I'm by that.
So she's made Nia Jax look really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, still credit to Nia for actually, she put in a passable match.
Yeah.
And the pop was huge. The fact that Rhea was able to hit a riptide on her.
Yeah. That's
I was like,
yeah.
Damn, okay, all right. This is dope.
So I got nothing against Nia Jax. I think she's I was only getting back into wrestling during the whole Nia Jax is hurting people, Nia Jax is unsafe, internet destroy her thing, and I thought some of it was unfair. And some of it was warranted from what I heard after the fact and whatever else. This was a huge spot for her just coming back. She's only been back since Rumble, right? And then just like that, she's in this match.
She's been back a little bit before that.
Was she?
Yeah.
So to come and all of a sudden I think they wanted Rhea Ripley to go up against a quote unquote monster. Simon Miller was talking about this a little bit, and it made more sense to me. Is like, we want a big opponent, somebody huge, someone that's going to try to destroy you and sort of sell the kayfabe that way. And when I thought of it that way after, I was like, okay, that makes a little more sense to me. But you're right. Rhea Ripley sold the hell out of everything. Nia Jax did a leg drop at one point. Like, Nia Jax was throwing all the old school things out there too.
Well, because she's okay. Normally, as much as like leg drops aren't like these big devastating moves anymore, but like somebody of her size doing it.
Oh yeah. Looks
right.
Devastating. Yeah.
I just, hope she doesn't do him too much and cripple her back like Hulk Hogan did.
I'm trying to find I can't find the table spot. I'm trying to jump to the table spot. Rhea threw a frog splash at one point, which was great.
It looks good. Her frog splash actually looked pretty good.
It's not bad. So I thought this was a fun match. It wasn't my match of the night, which is a little disappointing to me. Maybe I just had such high hopes and wanted so much more. It was still a great match, though. Like
I thought it was fun. I definitely had a good time watching it. But for me personally, I knew this was going to be a match because there's only so much that a number of Samoan drops and an annihilator attempts that Nia Jax can do as the big monster in this. I did think that Rhea's spine was all messed up when she got thrown onto the table, onto the monitors, mind you.
That's what I'm trying to
hit the
find right
monitors.
now is her hitting the monitors.
Like the monitors didn't go down; they stay standing up, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" I think Rhea Ripley just hit her spine on these monitors.
Oh, I don't know. That's up to Rhea Ripley to clear those.
Yeah, because she's the one that set the table up to begin with.
Yeah, so that was intense. And then there was a hot moment that I thought Nia Jax was going to eat it when she got on the chair to jump on said table, and I thought she almost lost her footing. I try not to be mean.
Using that chair for that spot. Really?
I was like, you couldn't have gone
That's
on the
what we're doing?
barricade. All right.
I'm watching that right now. I was laughing because I legit thought she was just going to do the cartoon whip boom. Like there was no way that was gonna.
I thought that, but I saw where the chair was. She's like right back against the barricade, so she can't slip out. But I thought the chair was going to turn and she was going to catch her leg, and she wasn't going to make it.
Oh man, I can go either
Props
way.
to her for making it.
But Nia Jax is a great heel. You know, she's sold hate me the whole time, which was
she's very good at heels. I don't like her at all.
Heel, so that was fun.
If you watch any of the Raw reviews, every time there's a Nia Jax promo, I just skip it.
Really?
He lets it be known. Then he lets it.
No, there is. She is the female Omos for me.
Really? Wow.
I just can't stand her. And you know what? She's done a good job of portraying that, and that's props on her for doing it.
Sure.
Thank God for mommy that she won, because I don't think if she would have lost, there would have been a riot.
I think Australia would have rioted, but let's talk about this finishing sequence. So Nia Jax tries to go for another annihilator, which gets broken up into a superplex to bring Nia Jax back to the mat. Rhea Ripley then kicks Nia in the head to set up what I thought, and I was actually really impressed. She kind of pulled it off, where she did a riptide to Nia Jax and to pin her for the win. Rhea Ripley then jumps out of the ring with her title, celebrates with her family, gets back in the ring, has an elongated celebration with the crowd. Then we get into the highlight package of the whole pay-per-view. That is how Elimination Chamber goes off the air, with Rhea Ripley celebrating here. And boys, we have reached the end. Elimination Chamber is now in the books. Australia had a very fun pay-per-view, so let me just remove this from the
Leave
screen.
Rhea's sister alone, internet.
Oh my gosh. The internet is a weird place.
What happened?
They saw Rhea's sister and everybody's going crazy because they say Rhea's sister's hot.
Wrestling fans is being thirsty.
Yeah, I'm not thirsty. I'm not going to go dig that up, but good for them.
All righty, boys. So we reached the end. So final thoughts and some grades.
Are we mini scaling this one, or do we need a whole new Australian scale of some kind? Koala scale or
no? They always use koalas. Let's do how many barrier reefs?
You know what? Just because they were in Australia. So we're gonna cross promote here. We're gonna use actual Australian wildlife. We're also going to put in Finding Nemo because I can. So how many shark bait ooh-ha-has out of 10 do you give this?
There you go, shark bait.
I'll go first. So for me, I give this 7.
I just realized Finding Nemo, they're not Australian animals. They're all American animals living in the Australian current. Oh, that's weird. Anyway, carry on.
So I will go first. On a scale of 10, El Jefe himself, I give Elimination Chamber from Perth, Australia, 7 shark bait ooh-ha-has out of 10.
Good. Yeah. I'm kind of in a similar spot. Yeah, I think it's 7.5 for me, 7.5 or so. I really wanted 8, 9, 10. Like I felt like this had the potential for a lot of reasons, but it was solid 7.5 shark bait ooh-ha-has.
I love it.
I'm gonna give this one a 9 shark bait hoo-ha-has.
Nice.
Whoa, okay.
I feel like this was as of this early 2024. As of right now, this is my PLE of 2024, but we're only in February, so
I mean that's very fair.
Yeah. So I feel like if we had the Bronson Seth match, this might have been a 10.
Sure.
Honestly,
I
I
mean, it
would
would've been
probably
up there,
give it
yeah.
more points for
But-
Bronson
Yeah.
and Seth.
That's none of their fault. Seth got hurt. Bronson had his kid.
Yeah, man, that's the
There
thing.
was still
Yeah.
a positive out of this. Bronson had a kid. That's great. Now
He had a
we're
whole. Him and
we're
his
about
wife
to
had
have
a
we're
whole
about to have
child.
little Bronson Reed running around,
Oh my!
and that terrifies me because Bronson Reed is already a scary man. Now there's a little one.
It's like the Gremlins don't feed him after midnight.
Dude,
Right.
Little
So
baby's gonna be an ogre.
yes, Bobby Lashley's 47 years old.
My
Oh
God.
my gosh, that is the big takeaway from this review is that Bobby
okay.
Lashley's.
So I know I read the comments. I got a lot of shit for saying this when I said it with John Cena, the way he looks right now.
Oh my
John
gosh.
Cena's 46.
Oh my gosh. Hey, but you know what they say? Black don't crack. Like honestly,
That's fair.
Bobby
Adam Copeland
Lashley is
50.
great. I love him.
So many. What'd you say? How many out of Sharkbait Uhahas?
He's 9.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 shark bait. Ooh ha ha.
Damn.
That's a
And
great
we
feeling.
like to just use the shark bait for the SmackDown review now. It's our rating scale now.
The Sharkbait. We had a mini scale, then we had an empanada scale, now the Sharkbait scale. I don't hate the Sharkbait.
The shark bait scale, the shark bait ooh ha ha scale is just specifically for the SmackDown team
It's
now.
it's in kilometers.
It's so great. But
How many
gentlemen,
freedom units per bald eagle screech?
no, we don't got the time to do all this math on screen. We can calculate this later. But gentlemen, we are done. We have reached the end of, I think about it. This is our first live stream as a WWE crew together. So that's crazy. This is the
Yeah.
first pay-per-view that we've done a
Crazy.
live stream for, which
That was
is
crazy
nuts.
once.
I mean, we could have did
Lots
Rumble
in a row.
together, but things didn't happen.
The rubber room.
Who did Rumble?
I
Rumble
did
with
Rumble by
rats.
myself,
Oh, that's
That's
right.
actually crazy. Crazy? I
but
was
that's
crazy once.
okay. Me being
were
the boss,
walking in
I
the
got to
room.
pull some strings
Oh,
where I was
rubber.
just like, I'm not saying you had to,
Rubber room with
but
rats.
you both need to show
Rats
up.
make me crazy. Crazy? I was
But we're
crazy.
gonna get on out of here
Must
now.
be the root. Rubber room. The rubber room with
All right,
rats.
there we go.
Did you boot Mini?
No, I'll bring him back in.
The rats make me crazy. Crazy?
Stop it.
I was crazy once.
All right, we're gonna get on out of here. So thank you so much for tuning in to a live stream of the Grapple Gurus. You will see me, maybe the professor, and a couple of our AEW boys next Monday as we review AEW Revolution. But until then, you can find us here doing what we do best, making a fools of ourselves and, reviewing professional wrestling, which we love to see.
That's right.
But from myself, the rest of the SmackDown crew here, and the rest of the Biconics, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, stay Biconic, all you guys, gals, not binary pals, he, she, theys, and gays of the internet. We'll see you for the next one. We'll see you for the next one. But until then, ta-ta for now.
Thank you, Chris.